If you ever look closely at your palm and notice a strange X-shaped mark between the lines, it may seem like a random pattern of skin and folds. But in spiritual tradition and the art of palmistry, such a symbol has never been considered a mere coincidence. This sign has long been perceived as a special mark with a deep sacred meaning, a kind of gateway to understanding a person's destiny, their inner nature, and the path of their soul. In esoteric knowledge, X is often called the sign of the cross, or the sign of destiny, and it is attributed the role of a symbol of divine intervention, subtle guidance from above, which invisibly directs a person towards self-knowledge, awakening of consciousness and spiritual growth. Immersing ourselves in the study of this symbol, we descend into the depths of palmistry, where every line, curve, and intersection on the palm is perceived as an encrypted message woven into the fabric of human life. Through the prism of spiritual understanding, the X sign ceases to be just a rare skin feature and reveals itself as a sacred symbol of man's connection with the universe, a reminder of his potential for transformation, expansion of consciousness, and inner development. Palmistry, also known as chiromancy, is an ancient system of knowledge rooted in thousands of years of human history and uniting the traditions of many cultures. From Mesopotamia and ancient Egypt to India, China, and Europe. In different eras, it was perceived not as superstition, but as a sacred science accessible to priests, sages, and initiates, since it was believed that a person's hands are a reflection of their soul, and the lines on their palms are imprints of fate, karma, and the inner world. In ancient Indian tradition, this art was known as Hasta Samudrika Shastra and was part of the Vedic knowledge system. It was believed that the gods themselves left marks on human hands from which one could read a person's life path and the lessons they were destined to learn in this incarnation. Over time, palmistry evolved, absorbing the philosophical and mystical ideas of different peoples, and in medieval Europe it became a popular form of divination, and in the Renaissance it again attracted the attention of scholars who sought to see in the palm a microcosm reflecting the laws of astrology and alchemy. Today, interest in palmistry continues unabated. Many continue to seek answers about destiny, relationships, talents, and spiritual development, finding comfort and guidance in this ancient knowledge when faced with difficult life questions. Among the many signs on the palm, the X symbol occupies a special place due to its rarity and expressiveness. In traditional interpretation, it is often located at the intersection of the main lines, the heart line, the head line, and the lifeline, indicating a person's special mission and deep connection to the spiritual plane of existence. It is believed that such a sign belongs to souls that have gone through many incarnations and accumulated considerable experience, as if each past life has left its mark in the form of this symbol. It is perceived as a sign of inner maturity, hidden wisdom, and the ability to intuitively sense subtle levels of reality. That is why people with this mark are often credited with developed intuition, an attraction to spiritual knowledge, and a feeling that their life has a deeper meaning than just a series of random events. Sometimes this manifests itself in a strange feeling of recognition when meeting a stranger, an inexplicable attraction to certain places, or a feeling that certain events have already happened before. In esoteric understanding, such experiences are seen as echoes of past experiences, moments when the boundary between the past and the present becomes thin, allowing the soul to remember fragments of its long journey. Thus, the X mark on the palm appears not as a prediction of a fatal destiny, but as a reminder of a person's deep connection with their spiritual history, of the potential for conscious choice, and of the opportunity to use accumulated wisdom for growth, service, and a fuller disclosure of one's true purpose. The idea of the soul passing through time is inextricably linked to the concept of reincarnation, which adds depth and scope to this story, as if revealing to us the endless canvas of the spiritual path, where each life is a separate chapter in a great journey of growth and evolution. According to this view, the soul repeatedly immerses itself in earthly experience in order to learn, overcome trials, accumulate wisdom, and step-by-step approach an understanding of its true essence. The ultimate goal of this journey is considered to be a state of enlightenment, a moment of deep awareness at which the cycle of rebirth ends and the soul returns to the source of all that exists, to the universal beginning that gave rise to all stories. If we consider the X mark on the palm as a possible indication of past lives and multiple incarnations, it begins to be perceived as a secret library of knowledge and experiences hidden in the lines of the hand, a reminder that a person is not only their current role and current history, but an eternal being involved in a grand journey of self-discovery and development. To understand this idea more easily, imagine a favorite movie or series of books where the main character goes through many adventures, faces difficulties, and becomes stronger and wiser with each stage. In the same way, the concept of past lives suggests that each of us has been the hero of our own stories in different eras and places, learning lessons from each experience. The question arises as to why we do not remember these previous chapters directly, and the answer is often compared to the feeling when one book is finished and another is just beginning. The new story is so captivating that the old ones fade into the background, although sometimes a sudden feeling of déjà vu, an inexplicable attraction to a certain culture, or a strange sense of recognition of a place can be quiet echoes of those past pages, whispers of the soul's memory accumulated over a long time. Even without being preserved in explicit memories, past experiences continue to shape a person here and now, influencing their instincts, fears, aspirations, talents, and internal reactions. Therefore, meeting someone who evokes an instant feeling of closeness or a deep sense of familiarity in a new city is often perceived as a moment when the veil between the past and the present thins, allowing a glimpse into the path of the soul. Reincarnation in this context is not a fantastical theory, but a metaphor for continuous spiritual learning, where each life is a chance to learn new lessons, overcome internal and external obstacles, and come closer to understanding one's true nature. And the ultimate goal is to return to the source of all that exists, to universal consciousness. If the sign X is indeed connected with this process, it symbolizes a hidden treasure trove of wisdom, reminding a person of their eternal nature and that their current life is just one of many steps on the path of growth. In the same vein, the connection between the sign X and intuition and so-called psychic abilities is often considered, which can be represented as a special internal tool that helps to navigate the complex mosaic of life. Intuition is like a quiet voice or an inner feeling that points you in the right direction without the need for logical calculations, like an invisible guide leading you through uncertainty. People with developed intuition often notice that they just know the right answer or feel the hidden essence of a situation, even without understanding where this knowledge comes from, and their inner compass needle points the way when external landmarks are blurred. Psychic abilities in this sense have nothing to do with fantastical images of fortune-telling, but are rather associated with heightened sensitivity to subtle energies, the moods of people and spaces, and sometimes with vivid dreams or premonitions that seem significant. It is believed that the X sign on the palm emphasizes this special receptivity, indicating a deeper connection between a person and invisible levels of reality, and that which cannot be expressed in words. Therefore, people with this mark often strive to help others, intuitively finding the right words and actions, being there at the right moment and seeming to accurately grasp the essence of other people's experiences. However, having such qualities does not mean an easy life, as intuition and sensitivity require self-confidence and inner stability, especially when the surrounding world tends to doubt or devalue such forms of perception. In a broader spiritual sense, the X symbol reminds us of a person's ability to be a conduit for light, love, and healing, manifesting harmony on the physical, emotional, and spiritual levels, both in their own lives and in the lives of others. Ultimately, this symbol is perceived as a powerful indication of past experiences, spiritual awakening, and connection with the divine, inviting a deeper understanding of oneself, one's hidden resources, and the mysteries of the universe, reminding us of our innate spiritual power and the infinite possibilities that unfold on the path. We are called upon to realize that we are co-creators of our own reality, active participants in the great cosmic dance of creation. In this context, the sign X appears as a kind of beacon amid life's trials, illuminating the path in moments of uncertainty and gently guiding us toward our true destiny. It speaks of synchronicities and happy coincidences, encouraging us to align ourselves with our highest potential. As we walk the winding paths of our cosmic journey, we are reminded again and again of the need to trust in the divine flow of the universe, its wisdom and its infinite goodness. To truly accept our path, it is important to be ready to face any lessons and experiences, both joyful and challenging, because each encounter becomes a step towards self-knowledge and inner growth, opening new horizons of understanding and opportunities for expanding consciousness. The symbol X invites us to walk through life with an open heart and a clear mind, accepting both the blessings and lessons that the universe generously presents to us. This is an act of deep trust in the mystery and magic of being, a recognition of our inseparable connection with all forms of life and our place in the cosmic fabric of creation. By accepting the X mark on our palm as a symbol, we accept the infinite potential of our own spiritual path, embarking on a journey of profound transformation, inner insight, and going beyond our usual perceptions. It also means developing a sincere reverence for the interconnected web of life that surrounds us and recognizing the sacred spark present in every being. By acknowledging the unity of all that exists, we cultivate compassion, empathy, and a deep sense of belonging to the universe. Our cosmic journey has no end point. It is a continuous process of evolution and expansion that requires the courage to explore new horizons, go beyond limitations, and embrace the unknown. As we delve into realms of expanded consciousness, we begin to understand that the X mark on the palm of our hand is merely a gateway to countless worlds of possibility and hidden potential, a reminder that our path is as infinite as the universe itself, offering endless opportunities for growth, discovery, and inner transformation. By touching the deeper meanings contained in this symbol, we find ourselves on the threshold of true self-discovery and spiritual enlightenment. By exploring the mysteries of palmistry and deciphering the cosmic meaning of this enigmatic sign, we have already embarked on a transformative path of awareness, and now, bathed in the light of new understanding, we can confidently continue on the path that calls us forward. At every stage of this sacred journey, we are able to seek wisdom, support, and spiritual growth again and again, remaining open to the whispers of the cosmos that accompany us on the winding roads of inner development. And knowing that we are not alone on this path, we can draw comfort and strength from the invisible support of the universe. And if, while reading this message, you remembered someone special, perhaps it is a sign. Share this knowledge with that person because it may be a turning point for them. Thank you for being part of the community of growth and exploration, and see you on the next journey. Ultimately, the X sign becomes not just a symbol or object of reflection, but a living reminder of the profound nature of our existence. It indicates that each of us is woven into the grand pattern of the universe and at the same time possesses the freedom of co-creation, the ability to influence the direction of our own path through conscious choice, attention, and inner honesty. Recognizing this, we cease to be passive observers of events and begin to see in every moment an invitation to growth, rethinking, and inner awakening. Our journey is not measured by finite goals or external achievements. It unfolds as presence, in the ability to hear subtle signs, feel the rhythms of life, and trust the invisible currents that guide us through change. Even trials that at first glance seem chaotic or unfair reveal themselves over time as necessary stages in the formation of wisdom, compassion, and inner strength. In this light, every encounter, every coincidence, and every pause is filled with meaning, becoming elements of a great dialogue between man and the cosmos. Accepting this perspective allows us to live more deeply, with respect for ourselves and the world around us, realizing that spiritual development is not a destination, but a continuous unfolding of the soul's potential. May this understanding become a support in moments of doubt and a source of inspiration in periods of growth, reminding us that the path always continues and that the universe invariably responds to a sincere desire for truth, harmony, and inner light.